Both Kentucky and Illinois are entering Sunday's matchup coming off of double-digit wins in the round of 64. Cart, I think this one should be some offensive fireworks. Teams that like to get up and down the court, teams that like to take a lot of threes. Kentucky usually makes them at a higher clip than the Illini. No offense, Illini Nation. It's not a slight. It's just facts, just what the percentages say. Both have versatile front court players, versatile wings that I think will lead to some interesting one-on-one matchups in this one as well as to some greater overall storylines here. Of course, we want to see March Pope shed that March Pope. What's the word that's like pejorative? That pejorative nickname. He finally got his first win in the tournament. Underwood looking to get back to the second weekend for the second year in a row. Yeah, what are you looking for out of this matchup, Cart?
Yeah, I'm gonna start this off with corny saying slash big backness. This is peanut butter and jelly. This is mac and cheese. This is a scoop of vanilla ice cream with a piece of chocolate cake. This is what I like. I like two offensive teams going at it, right? And that's what you have in this
What we
basketball
need.
game. The Illinois offense, it's a little bit different than Kentucky's, I think. Kentucky's more like they have some sets, they do a lot of ball screens, they do a lot of
Mm-hmm.
dribble handoffs, really Mark Pope-ish, right? And it's tough to defend. You have to be disciplined defensively to guard it, which is one thing that I'll put a pin in that does scare me about Illinois. I do think that sometimes guys aren't connected and they can tend to fall asleep. And I think that leads to like the issues where you have, you look back to the Maryland game, I thought there was like defensive breakdowns of guys going under on shooters or guys breaking down, letting guys go back door. Big T gets fouls, and then you kind of
Mm-hmm.
fall apart from there. But on the other hand, here, Illinois' offense is really taking a turn. Like you pointed out, you're able to sort on Torvik the last 10 games and how good they've been offensively with the lineup changes that they've made. Um, you know, kind of related to this for Illinois fans, if you thought Purdue's 2 point defense was bad, Kentucky's 2 point defense is not much better. They don't really provide that much defensively at all. They're not a defensive team. That's not really where they make their money. Now, Kentucky fans, don't bite my head off. You guys have been better, and I have not said that on a couple of videos, but let me give y'all credit. Y'all have improved defensively as a whole, but the 2 point defense is still really, really bad. And you're playing an Illinois team that is top 20 in the country in 2 point range, 2 point percentage.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of if Illinois is going to realize that they're playing a team that they can shoot twos on and do it, and they have done that as of late. So it's a really intriguing matchup. I'm very excited to watch it. Riley, I'll ask you first. Let's start with Illinois. What do you think is the key to this game? Because, like I pointed out, this Kentucky defense is better than people give them credit for, but they
Mm-hmm.
still very much lack, kind of the 2 point defense, which kind of aligns with what Illinois wants to do offensively because they're not really hitting threes. But you look in the last Illinois game, they shoot, I think, 40% from three. And it seems they've taken a little bit of a
Mm-hmm.
turn as of late. So what do you think the key is for Illinois in this game as far as how they attack Kentucky's defense?
Yeah, you remember last year around this time when Brad Underwood had his guys just go at Donovan Clingan relentlessly?
Yeah.
Do that, but it's against like a, a team that you can actually score on, you know? I want to see them attack the paint.
Dog,
I
wait, hold
want to
on,
see
Riley. I
them.
don't mean to cut you off. That's a bar. They should actually do that. Like, if you really like do that, and there's no cling in there, and it might work.
It's, do that with Will Riley. Let him like put on the cape and do his best Terrence Shannon Jr. impersonation and see what happens.
Yeah.
Um, at the same time, I do think the way that Illinois played against Xavier set it's the blueprint for where you want to get your threes. You want to get them off of pick and pops. You want to play through the paint, get kickouts. I thought like I know Casparis had 10 assists that game. They only had 14 as a team. The ones that they had were loud, man. Like I thought the ball movement as a whole, like Big T had a really nice feed to Will Riley when he's cutting back door. I think you probably want to do that. Like if you're Big T, take whichever big is on you, whether it's Williams, whether it's Carr, whether it's Garrison, invert the offense a little bit, make use of those cutters around him to get easy looks at the basket. I think that's where you probably can really shred Kentucky. Also, I love showing off when I know the name of some different actions. Big T and Casparis ran a nice little blind pig set that got Big T the one of his open threes, I think. So yeah. So it's stuff like that where it just is a different level of connectedness than I think we've seen out of Illinois prior to the last month. As they've been on this hot streak of winning five of their past six, having an offense that's ranked top 12 per Torvik over the past 10. It seems like they're just lighting up pretty much everybody in front of them, unless you got Derek Queen and Julian Reese anchoring the paint, which Kentucky doesn't.
Right. And look, I just said it, but I do want to reiterate. I thought there was a lot of mental breakdowns referring to that Maryland game. So like, the mental ones are maybe ones you can feel better about fixing as far as like, maybe it's just not an issue of, oh, that's just something that's bad about our defense. We can't do anything about that. We don't have the personnel for that.
Hmm.
It is a young Illinois team, so they are susceptible to that, I will say. Trey White, I think, does bring a little bit of like veteranness. Even Colin Boswell being young, he's been here, he's been in
Right.
the tournament before. And Kentucky is one of the older teams in the country. They got a lot of experience, not necessarily tournament experience outside of like Lamont Butler. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how Illinois attacks in this game because it's not as easy as saying like go get a 2 point shot,
Yeah,
right?
right,
Because
right.
like I said, actually I do want to. I have it. I've been messing up a little bit, Kentucky Nation. I'm admitting that to y'all right now. I do think that they are a better defensive team than they were. And Lamont Butler helps with that. Otega Owe helps with that. I personally think Amari,
Theoretically, Amari Williams should too, but I don't know what his deal
yeah,
has been.
I once again we could get going off on here. Why is this team so bad defensively? Like this,
I don't get it. When you look at like
I
they
mean
got a
they
million
are top
bigs.
25 metrically, I guess. I mean maybe they're just overblowing it a little bit.
They're like which metrics?
I'm Ken Palm defense. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a 54, not 24. My apologies. See, I missed my
I was
death.
gonna say 54 is not terrible, but like again,
Yeah.
when you have like Lamont Butler's one of the best on-ball defenders in the country, and Otega Owe just makes stuff happen with his like instincts and his bulldog type mentality. And I don't know. I'm pretty sure Amari Williams won multiple like CAA Defensive Player of the Years awards.
Yeah.
Like they shouldn't they shouldn't be struggling like this like they are. But
Yeah.
um,
But for Illinois, I think that it's if you have a key plan to attack, and I'm not even necessarily saying shoot twos, but I'm saying like Illinois is at their best when it's like a paint touch, a
mhm.
touch in the paint. Maybe like try to get a back door with Big T catching it up top, kind of running like a little bit Mark Pope-esque action, and then throw little back doors and things like that. I think that's when their offense works the best. And then I think also just Kentucky doesn't force turnovers, but I think that you just need to be very mindful because they try to be physical, and they can force turnovers. They just don't really do it much, right? So you need to take care of
Yeah.
the ball as always. Flipping it to Kentucky side, obviously
Hmm.
Kentucky's offense is really good. They make their money from 3 point range. They can really fill it up. Defensively. Illinois can be susceptible to that. We saw that happen against Maryland. What does Illinois have to do defensively to kind of lock in this one? Because what makes it difficult about Kentucky is that they shoot the ball well from three, but they also like keep you off balance with the back doors, that dribble handoff
Right.
motion, and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's the stuff that scares me the most. There's a couple things here. I don't really know if Kentucky has an answer for Will Riley. However, I'm not entirely sure what Illinois' MO is going to be trying to stop like Andrew Carr on the perimeter or Amari Williams on the perimeter. Andrew Carr has played really well down the stretch. I believe he's been in double figures 4 straight games. It's a far cry from when he was battling injuries. It seems like he's finally fully acclimated. I guess like Amari Williams and to a lesser extent Brandon Garrison, they can do some of the big T like playmaking stuff at the top of the key. We like Amari Williams has logged a triple double this year. He's a really good passer that they can run the offense through. And I guess I don't know if I trust Big T kind of putting a stop to that. I don't really know if I trust like the backside help from Illinois to kind of blow up actions. Like if you have Williams at the top of the key running that, and I guess just lock in and pray. Like maybe that helps to try to pay better attention. I don't know. Like that's where I don't get I get, you know, paid the big bucks to make pop culture reference and read Bible verses on college basketball podcasts. I don't get paid to figure out defensive schemes.
I mean, that's the dream though. It is, but I like so I think though there are some things that with this lineup like on paper they had the length, they had the athletes to stick with this Kentucky team. I just think
Mhm.
it's gonna be a major mental hurdle because that's I've equated back to my I'm gonna do my D3 playing days here. Um, it's sometimes it's not the hardest teams to check when it's a bunch of guys that are just like killers and can do the do him offense.
Yeah.
It's the worst when you're guarding for like 20 seconds and then like one guy blinks for 2 seconds too long and you get a backdoor. Or
Hmm.
Amari Williams kind of does like a fake handoff, and this is what scares me the most. Amari Williams fake handoff, shoulder into Big T. Big T maybe fouls him. All of a sudden, Big T has two, and he's on the bench.
Hmm.
And you're
Hmm.
throwing in Merez into this situation. I don't want Merez on the perimeter guarding Amari, and Ben Henrichau speaks for himself defensively. So I think it's going to be very key to stay out of foul trouble and also very key to stay disciplined. And I guess I'll ask you this, Riley, yes or no question. Is Illinois a disciplined team? They can be, but like in
They
general,
are, to use our favorite bit, they're disciplined. Silly face. They are not disciplined, but they have shown flashes that they can be.
might be disciplined. I hate discipline silly face so much. But no, it really is going to be key. And I'm sure Brad Underwood and his staff will be kind of hammering that in. But I mean, outside though, without doing the whole pick and sides thing, this could be a really high level basketball game. I think it could be like, classic-ish game in the 80s. Both teams come down one possession. And I will say this. You got some things where Kentucky has like some closing things about them with Otega Owe just saying it's
Hmm.
Otega Owe time. But I'll ask this: who do you think on Illinois draws that assignment? Do you go Boswell? Do you go Trey White?
I'd probably go Boswell. And who did that leave Trey White? I probably want Trey White guarding Andrew Carr
You could have Trey White guard Andrew. You could have Will Riley probably could be on
on
Andrew
Carr.
as well.
Yeah.
And then
Who
you
would
could
you rather
throw
have? What'd you say?
no, and I was gonna say you could throw Trey White on who would you throw?
Kobe Brea? I mean, you're putting one of those dudes on Kobe Brea, probably like chasing him around screens. That's actually kind of a scary thought. I don't know if I like love the thought of either White or Will Riley having to navigate
Yeah,
a million
honestly, I
screens
might
for.
go White Oway just because if I want somebody chasing, I do think
Mhm.
Boswell does a great job of like getting
Mhm.
skinny off those screens and being
Yeah.
on somebody's hip. I think other guys might fall asleep in that spot. So maybe you do go with Boswell in that spot, but I do think this is going to be a very high level matchup. Riley, do you have anything else that you want to throw out there before we get to predictions?
No, I was just going to say Kim Pom has it projected as an 85-84 win for the Wildcats. Who do you think gets it done, Cart?
Oh, this is tough. This is tough. This is one of the predictions that I don't want to get dunked on for picking wrong because I literally
Mhm.
think this game could go either way. But like we do predictions, so I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna go Kentucky 90, Illinois 88, and Otega Owe makes the play to win the game. I think that's what I'm gonna go with.
I'm gonna go Kentucky 90, Illinois 88 because we have to do our cutesy friend Twinskies thing where we're on the same page. And I really think my rationale is more so that just Kentucky's getting healthy. I think Lamont Butler playing 25 minutes in the first round after not playing against Alabama 8 minutes before that is huge just to get him a little acclimated. Didn't make a single shot. At least he got paint touches and would kick out for three and had three big assists. I love the big assists.
Three big assists and your shoulder didn't fall off the bone.
Yes, that is a bigger point. Three big assists and one intact shoulder to where I think, well, I will say this, and or maybe this is obvious, but like this 90 to 88 prediction is predicated on Lamont Butler like finally finding his offense again. And I think there's no better time than now. And man, before that injury, dude, he was in double figures like every game except the Duke game, and they still won that.
They were going to
Like
him and
throughout November and December.
getting buckets.
I can't, bro. He scored 33 against Louisville and was perfect from the field,
Yeah.
even after missing 2 games. Like I don't think Kentucky needs him to do that, but they need like a solid 8 to 10 points from Lamont, 4 to 5 assists, and good defense. I think they get it. I think that's ultimately what gets them over the edge.
Yeah, I think so too. And then last thing before we get out of here, another matchup I'm gonna be looking at. I know I brought up how Amari could get Big T in foul trouble. Very interested to see how Big T draws Amari out too.
Mhm.
When he hits threes, this Illinois team's different, right?
Yeah,
Now,
facts.
last game he goes 4 for 9. He also could do what he does when he gets in foul trouble and goes like 1 for 6. It's gonna be big. I think it opens up a lot of things for this Illinois team. But yeah, we'll have the recap up here on the channel as always of every NCAA tournament game. So make sure you tap into Sleepers Media YouTube channel. It is March, and that means that March Madness is upon us. And if you are looking for a place to play, Underdog Fantasy has you covered. Sign up and deposit using code SLEEPERS, that's code SLEEPERS, to receive up to $1,000 in bonus credit plus a free pick. Head over to Underdog Fantasy today and use promo code SLEEPERS to take advantage of this amazing offer.